I was offering some advice to my nephew today about anxiety and stress around phone calls. This is something I understand completely. I've only very recently been diagnosed with ADHD just a few years ago, and I didn't realize why I hated the telephone so much, just that I did. I would put off making a phone call forever if I could, often to the detriment of things that I needed to get done. I still prefer to communicate with text or with an email, but it's not always possible. So, if like me and my nephew, you suffer with a brain that doesn't like doing things like that, here's some tips. I always work with a journal all the time. I have professional journals, art journals, personal journals. This goes into a professional journal. I put the date and the time of the phone call at the top of the page, and I write down the name of the person who I'm going to be speaking to, because I am going to forget their name during the conversation. If I don't know the name yet, I leave a nice space to put it in big letters when I do have the name of the person I'm speaking with. I also take the time to write a script before I get started on the phone call, point form usually, and with some space for notes. And I go back, and during the phone call, I have a pen in hand so I can check things off as I get to them and they're mentioned and discussed. If the conversation goes off the rails, I put a little star mark right beside where I ended up so I can go back to the same spot and still be sure to get in all of the information I need to get in. These days, I'm always very open and frank with people about the challenges I face not being neurotypical. So I tell people that I need a moment at the end of the phone call, and I go back over my notes and say to them, this is what I took away from our conversation. Is it accurate, and do you have anything to add? After I hang up, I try to do any follow-up tasks immediately, because we all know the longer I take to get around to it, the less likely it is that they will get done. Does all this make me love phone calls? No. My heart pounds, my palms sweat, I feel sick to my stomach. But I take a deep breath, I put my tools in place, and I make those phone calls. It helps a little bit knowing that it makes me more effective at my job.